Hi, everyone. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. And today is a Woo Woo Wednesday, and it is wooing about Madeleine Albright has been pronounced deceased. There's some other crazy things going on in the world. So stay with us. I'll bring you right back with my buddy Public Awakening right after this. Hey, Public, welcome back. Good to have you.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. It's good to be back as usual. How's everybody? How are you?
Good. I like your background there.
Yes, it is the Matrix. This is where we are. We are in the Matrix.
We are.
Is
Actually,
it real? Is it fake? Who knows? Is it both? Yeah. I don't know.
so just today, I noticed, I'll go to another Twitter and find him. Actually, hold on. You noticed yesterday there was announcements that, and we talked a little bit about it on the show, that Stormy Daniels lawsuit was settled with Trump. And I made a comment on the show and I said, oh, well,
Does that mean the storm is over?
Does that mean this storm is over? Well, then I found, that MJ Smiles Twitter account.
Nope.
May
Remember,
or may not
they don't let me play. They don't let me play.
Well, but I send you links. I send you things.
You do.
Okay,
You do.
so I try to help you play in the game still. So this MJ Smiles, which some people say if Michael Jackson were to still be alive, that could possibly be his Twitter account.
Interesting.
He said to follow this account, which was really interesting.
I've got to put on my my larger monitor so I can see. Hold on.
Okay, so it's DJT. It does say parody account next to it, but however, it sure doesn't look like it.
It sure does. Let's see. Well, that would be a great way for things to be gone around.
And look what he posted, my fellow Americans.
El Donaldo Trumpo.
The storm is upon us. So we weren't too far off with that. We were having a little woo. We were pre-woo. We were pre-gaming our woo on Tuesday. So we were already correct on that.
That's really that's cool. I haven't.
And there, the train is agreeing with us, saying woo
yeah.
woo.
Woo woo.
Yep. That's the woo-woo
that's
train.
The Trump train. That's the Trump train.
That's the Trump train. Okay.
that thing is like blocks away. It's because I'm up high, so we're on the top floor, so it's like the sound must come up or something. But it's funny. That's really cool. And if I remember right, when we heard, we were always supposed to look for that particular quote for like 5 years or something. Now they kept saying, look for this tweet when it says, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. That was supposed to be like the time for things to really come out and things to actually happen.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, that was a marker. That was one of the markers, probably, I would say, maybe the biggest marker of all there are.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So there we go. The storm is upon us. And Madeleine Albright has been pronounced, or we're being told that she's passed away. This chick looks so much like Soros. It's just so insane.
Oh, dear Lord, I never thought of that.
Does she not just look like Soros?
Yeah. Or maybe Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Soros is actually her. You know,
Maybe.
we all know how they like to do their inversion stuff. What an evil woman that was. That thing was. I heard. We all know the the collateral of war statement she made years back, but I didn't remember it. Like I remembered it, but I didn't remember hearing like what it sounded like. And I was a little bit on social media earlier, and somebody posted the quick clip of her saying it, and just holy cow, man! This
What
is
is
this is
this?
what they
The
think.
collateral of war? I haven't heard this.
Her specific quote that she's like the most famous quote she had apparently was making was that somebody asked her, specifically spoke about 100,000 or possibly more, 100,000 children dying as one of their direct actions that she was responsible for having something to do with. And it was like 100,000 children died, and the reporter asked her, she said, do you how do you handle that, or do you
Oh,
agree
here it
with
is.
that? And she
She
just
said the
stopped.
price is worth it.
Yeah, the price is worth it. And like it's an evil little statement.
500,000 dead Iraqi children due to
Evil.
U.S. sanctions.
That's so much
And her
worse than that.
comment was, the price is worth it.
Yeah, to hear her say it, it was like, well, there's some honesty for you, because we know that that's how things go. We know that's what they think. We know that's, normal for them. And maybe it was refreshing to hear some truth, but it's just disgusting.
Wow.
To all out say it. She got crap for years. I forget when that was. Obviously, it was a while ago, but she got crap for years about that. They kept bringing it up, and then it dies off. And these days, when something dies out of the news cycle, it's considered gone. Like it's whoop, gone. See ya, never happened. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's
Nasty
horrible.
stuff.
I figured it was significant that it was happening today. The other thing was, we got that, or I saw this letter from the 3-letter agency that shall remain nameless, that everybody doesn't like paying into, but they had sent out an employee notice that today there was going to be an EBS.
I saw one like that a little while ago.
Yeah, I
Like,
can't verify any of it, but someone sent that to me, and said that it was an internal, but I haven't heard anything yet. But it makes me wonder if it was some kind of like, first, it could have been nothing. It could have been a fake. Second, it could have meant something else, like an announcement was going to be made instead of that, or an action would be taken or something.
It's tough to say. I find these days I'm extra careful not to get too too excited or looking forward to anything that's supposed to happen. As usual, you got to really keep track. You can't let yourself get too excited just because we are in the fog of woo. But
that's true.
the one of the biggest disappointing ones for me recently was the Truth Social one. I don't know if you saw that. There was something going around on Truth Social that said supposedly they have a Telegram account, and apparently I don't think it's the real Telegram account, because although it looked like it, and but there was no direct link to it off of their truthsocial.com. So who knows? But a lot of times there's not. And they had this big thing. They promoted it for a while, and then it spread out through other parts of social media, where it was supposed to be Trump and Putin were supposed to be having a press conference together. And, they created this Telegram account just for that. So, but I didn't know it was just for that. I thought they also had a Telegram account, so people who aren't on the actual app could participate, because there's such a long waiting. I think there's like 2 million people waiting, or 1.5 million people waiting.
Yeah, I just got my email saying that my account is approved. And
That's
I
cool.
had to be one of like the first people to sign up for that thing. And
Did you
I
get
thought it was
anything prior to that? Because I signed up too. Like back when you told me about it, I signed up right away, and I haven't gotten anything about anything so far.
yeah, I got an email saying that I was like 100,000 in line. And then I checked it again another time and I got bumped to like 400,000 something in line. And I was like, somebody just cut.
Yeah.
Like, what just happened? But then what was weird to me is then we were, like my kids got on first and people that didn't seek things as much as I do.
Right. I'm going to look at my email.
So my thought was maybe they're letting like the normies on first.
Or, we could be considered,
to let them have access first.
yeah, we could be considered controversial because supposedly they're really vetting whoever they're letting on, which I appreciate, but it's kind of weird to, be choosing exactly who's allowed to play in the ballpark. But
Yeah.
as long as everybody behaves, I guess that shouldn't be, an issue. But, the only issue that could come from that could be,
But that's not free
standing
speech
in
then.
the
I
echo
don't
box.
like that. Yeah,
Well,
then you're
it's a private club for free speech, maybe. You're not actually out on the street exercising your free speech. You're in a group of friends exercising your free speech, but it's still free speech.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, supposedly they're trying to keep out. There's a big problem with the bots. There's a big problem with trolls. You know how it goes. They can ruin anything super fast. And then you get a bunch of troublemakers in there, and then they're reporting everybody, and then all of a sudden, for nothing, and then you're having trouble with that. I haven't received anything.
Yeah, I'm okay with them not having bots in there, but
So how did you check back? Like you said, when you checked back,
like
you got
when
bumped.
you download the app, so then you go check on the app again.
It is. Yeah, they don't let me play in the app either. They don't have Android yet.
Oh,
just Apple.
Another reason to get an iPhone.
It's called Crapple for a reason. I hate Apple.
I know. We may get them all taken away from us. I don't know. So,
yeah, I'm sure.
We'll adjust, to whatever that new thing is. This is kind of weird, and you will probably know what this is because you're into all that rap stuff.
I like rap. I used to listen to rap, not so much anymore because it's crappy. If anything, actually, speaking of that, I just found the best throwback. It's crap rap. So they just started up like one of the channels around here is like throwbacks, 90s like throwback hip hop music, rap music from the 90s. It's actually really good. Yeah, it makes me feel like
love it.
like
really
cool.
A
youngster again. Yeah, it's got like Biggie and Tupac and like old school Public Enemy and all the good stuff from that era. The early 90s was really a great time.
Yes. Well, that was when I was in college. Like I was leaving high school and going to college. And I had like this one boyfriend made me a mixtape that was like all Snoop and I don't even know what else. We'd all go to the lake and listen to it.
Mm-hmm. That was style. Remember mixtapes? You used to make your friends a tape.
Yeah.
If you were lucky, you had the radio with the 2 cassette players in it. But if you weren't lucky, and you had to steal like your little brothers, and then you had to just put them face to face and hit play on one and record on the other one. And you heard people walking around in the background, but nobody cared.
No one cared. Yeah, nobody cared about that stuff.
You heard grandma sneezing in the background. Nobody paid attention. Now it's like that is not precisely the right tone that music's supposed to be in. Everyone's like a music snob.
Oh, try to do a video with some people and let them criticize it. I was like the other day, we started doing the videos with Reggie Middleton for the Very Dow. And it's really incredible getting to interview somebody like Reggie Middleton and talk about, what's going on with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general and intellectual property patents, all this kind of stuff. It's just been incredible. And then we get the community like, his mic's not loud enough, this and that. I'm like, guys, it's our very first one. It's like our very first interview with him. And so we're going to try some other things and he has a bunch of mics and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, And depending on where we catch him for interviews and stuff, we'll do different things. But it's just interesting to see, like, people will, you know, I'm like, listen to what he's
Nitpick.
saying, though.
Yeah.
He's so smart.
How dare you me not make this perfect studio quality that I'm listening to for free?
I know. Yeah.
It's free, damn it. Why isn't it perfect and awesome?
Yeah.
People just complain about the craziest things these days.
Sometimes.
Like the local Facebook
but then
page.
those are like the couple squeaky wheels. And then the ones that are really happy with it, they sit and watch it and they're quiet and they're happy. And I'm like, but think about all the people that watch, they're just really happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
You just won't hear from them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's usually how it is.
If you
What do
like
they
this
say?
video and you're watching and you're happy with it, give me a thumbs up. Give public a thumbs up.
Get that thumbs up. And share and like and do all those things that help us get this out.
Yeah.
We're always trying to grow the channel. We're always trying to get more views and spread this information out to more people. Sometimes we're successful. Sometimes we're just smushed down with the thumb and they keep us down at the boot. But you know, we're figuring it out. Look at this thing.
This is why we don't like new rap, I think. So it says, in a series of tweets, independent rapper Joyner Lucas demands that the festival Lollapalooza take his name off of their lineup flyer and criticizes them for choosing rapper Machine Gun Kelly. Isn't he the one that him and what's her name got married, and at the end of the wedding, didn't we watched it on here on the show, and at the end of the video, she says, we were together in this life and many others, and now we're going to go drink each other's blood or something. And they got married, like, I don't know. It kind of looked like a beach, but outside of some kind of church or something. I don't know. It was very weird.
I used to think, what's that chick's name with the dark hair and the blue eyes? I forget her name. But anyway, I used to think she was hot until somebody said she was a man, and now I'm embarrassed. But whatever. A lot of times you can't tell.
Yeah.
Like we all heard of, like, you know, that secret that Victoria has. What's the secret? Ha ha ha! What's that secret?
That a bunch of them are dudes.
And they're basically all dudes, yeah, supposedly.
So I also saw a tweet that said that Russia is going to blow the lid off of the women's NBA. Well, if you think about, like, China supports NBA, like all those NBA stars that had to, like, bow down to China and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Except for Enes Kanter, Freedom Kanter.
I'm not sure who that is, but all right.
He's a former Oklahoma City Thunder player, and I don't know who he plays for now, but he actually became a U.S. citizen and changed his last name to Freedom.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's very cool, and he will not bow to China for all that stuff. But then if you think about, like, China can only make so much money on the NBA. So I guess they came up, the theory is, and I don't know that this is true, that they came up with the women's NBA, but that a bunch of them are dudes. And, you know,
would that be anything different than the swimming thing that's going on?
Yeah, that's what brought that up.
So there's swimming ones that are being, like, records are being destroyed. There's track and field. There's the weightlifting ones have all been just, like, completely destroyed by you know, by these men, women. Sorry, you know, those people with their.
You can't say that. And then the Twitter kicked Tucker Carlson off and somebody else, Charlie Kirk, for describing that. Who is it? That is it, the health secretary or whatever that? Because the way they described it was like that he lived as a man for 50 years or with man parts or something like that. I should go try to find the tweet exactly, but something like that.
That's the one that always gets called out, yeah.
Yeah, he described it that way. Then Twitter kicked them off of Twitter for saying that.
I wonder, so like, you know, you're allowed to just pick what other form of vocabulary are you allowed to pick? Can you pick your own verbs? Can you pick your own adjectives?
Probably.
Can you pick?
I guess I could
then I'm going to pick my own adjective. From now on, I want to be known as Jason the Handsome. I want to be known as handsome and smart. Whenever you address me, You can't say he, she, him. No. Handsome and brilliant.
Jason the handsome and brilliant.
Yes. This is what I demanded. I demand this because this is how I identify. How can
you don't have to demand it because you're just entitled to it.
Oh, okay. So I'm entitled to it. And then anybody who doesn't call me handsome and brilliant from now on is, I'm gonna press charges.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very serious.
I'm down. It is very serious. All right. I'm gonna put that on my social media if I had some.
Yeah.
Like I'd be the only schmuck up there with adjectives instead of pronouns. But that's okay. If we can just pick kinds of vocabulary and literature things.
I've been homeschooling all morning. I don't want to hear about parts of speech right now.
Well, I like my adjectives. So let's start a thing. Let's just from now on, let's just do adjectives.
Instead of pronouns, we're going to do
pronouns, let's do adjectives. Yep.
We're going to demand certain adjectives be used about us.
You refer to me as handsome and brilliant from now on. That's it.
That's right.
And you're racist.
Thin and young.
There you go. That's you're racist. If somebody doesn't say that against you, screw them because they're racist.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And I'm tall. I'm also tall.
Tall.
We can say whatever. And if someone tries to say that 5'2" is not described as tall, then that's offensive to me.
Right. Well, no. It doesn't even have to be that. You identify as tall.
I identify
if
as
he
tall.
Can identify as a she, then you can identify as tall. I mean, hey.
Regardless of what my height is.
Regardless. That's genetics don't matter. That they've proven with the he, she, genetics don't actually matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No,
so there you go.
That's the perfect comparison.
Yeah. So there you go, tall Lisa.
I'm a giant.
How's the weather up there today?
All the jokes. I want all the jokes.
Okay, there you go. Bring them on. How dare they? How dare they?
I don't even know tall jokes.
Yeah, no, I've never heard any myself, really. I mean, I'm not short, but you know what? Actually, I used to think I was on the shorter side, but I'm really not. I'm like I'm a little over 5'10" or just about 5'10".
Yeah, I think you're
5'10" and a half with shoes on. Let's just say that.
But, you know what's so funny? When we were with Bix and Amy this weekend, Jenny and I were arguing about who's taller because I thought I was taller, but I'm not. But now I can tell her, now that we've had this discussion, I can tell Jenny Moonstone, I'll be like, okay, look, public and I figured it out and I've decided to change my adjective. Okay. And so I am Lisa the Tall. So now I can, even though technically, physically, when we stand together, I seem shorter, I am taller. She must address me as being taller.
There you go. You should take it one step farther. Lisa the 6 foot. Just say you're 6 foot. And how dare they? That's like
I might go down and change my driver's license.
Why not?
If they argue with me about it, I'm going to be really
how I identify.
Yeah, this is how I identify.
You could do the same thing with being a millionaire. Mm-hmm. I'm going to identify as a billionaire. I'm going to identify as a billionaire. And you have to address me as a billionaire. And hell, if the government can supply surgeries and everything somebody needs and hundreds of thousands of dollars for all these transitional things for free through your health insurance for somebody who wants to identify as another way, then I want to identify as another way. I want to identify as a billionaire. And therefore, the government must make me whole.
I want to change my adjective.
Okay.
Or can we have multiple adjectives?
Why not? The he, she, they, them, he, she, they, she, him, thou. Yeah. List them up. Let's get like a big box on the side. So what's your new one going to be? Billionaire, 6 foot.
Yeah.
Skinny Lisa. There you go.
I don't think I want to be 6 feet, but you know.
Why not?
A nice 5'8", 5'9".
I mean, it's all in your head anyway. Why not?
Yeah. It's not all in my head. It's also going to be in your head.
That was insulting to you. That was insulting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's in everyone's head.
Right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. Lisa the Giant.
Thank you. A giant among women.
There you go. Ho, ho, ho. Lisa Giant.
I was, clearly the shortest one there. But everyone's taller than me, so I can't ever tell. Like, people are like, oh, I thought I was this tall. I was like, oh, I had no idea.
You do wear some heels sometimes. I see some heels on you.
I try to catch up, you know. We're trying to catch up. So,
Gotta love it.
okay. So you want to go down a rabbit hole with me?
I love going down rabbit holes.
So I sent this to you. I even sent it to Uncle Cliff because I've had the conversation with him about our little Mexican restaurant that we love to go to. The little gangbanger trucks are missing. And so we asked, well, we were talking to the guy, the manager, when we were checking out. Charlie was talking to him about, what's going on, how's business, whatever. He's like, oh man, we're so short-handed. He's like, a bunch of the guys in the back went to Ukraine to fight.
You mean tall-handed? You said short-handed.
Oh.
So you're tall.
Ba-dum-bum. Okay.
Did you know that if my thing is right, we're late? There's only 5 people watching. I don't even want to admit that. There's only 5 people watching right now.
That's okay. No, my int says 31.
Oh, well, maybe they're just playing with me.
That's
mine
okay.
still says,
We're here
no,
for, if there's only one person watching, I don't care. I
oh,
want
okay.
to
All right.
talk to whoever is
I thought we
here
insulted
and
people
be
with our adjectives.
Oh, I don't think so. They can have adjectives too.
Yes. Wonderfully successful, outstandingly brilliant.
Yeah.
Suave and
Absolutely.
debonair.
All right, stay with me.
I'm with you.
Okay. So we went, he said he's shorthanded. He said they went to fight in Ukraine, which I did see a tweet, which I think I shared it too. So I should have it to show you guys as well.
You mean the gangbangers went to go fight in Ukraine?
Uh-huh. And I was like, oh, Ukrainian Mexican. I didn't know that was such a thing. And then I saw, here we go, right here.
I thought only the military and private contractors can go do that stuff.
But right now, the military isn't doing it because it's not the military, it's mercenaries, because this is all being hired. So this girl, is it normal that a company is looking for crisis actors in the military? Go to careers and read these requirements. It's very strange because they want Russian or Ukrainian speaking. Weird.
Wow.
This little link here.
Did you send me the thing the other day about the guy who went over there in the Ukraine and just started filming everywhere, and basically there's absolutely zero happening anywhere, and like there's literal movie sets at like the train station, at the airport, at like the town square.
But I saw
like they have big lights set up and boom mics everywhere, and like the one like can of burning garbage over there, and like a tire on the street, and like you go 1 block around the corner, it's like pristine. It's like it's normal. There's nobody there doing anything.
No,
but we know this happens.
Hold on. There's a what I did see was this cracked me up.
What is that?
What is that? That's Snake Island.
It's a little delayed.
Oh, you can't.
It took a minute. Yeah. Well, now I can.
Okay.
So is that foreshadowing all that? Never mind. I don't even want to go there. You know what island that looks like it's from?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But
it was
true,
like a movie set thing that was somebody imaged that. That was not real.
There's a tie there to the blue and white. The whole thing over at that island over there, the Epstein Island.
It's the same as the Disney castles. They have that blue and white stripe.
Yeah, and going back to now looking, I'm just kind of putting this together as we're talking. The whole Ukraine thing, everything is blue and white, blue and yellow. I don't know, and that all they said goes all the way goes back to the whole, with the weird drawings on the top, and I'm trying to say goes back to that culture, to that death culture, to that mafia culture.
Okay. Interesting.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Today is National Puppy Day, which made me a little concerned that could be a big thing.
Could be. And why is it from the Cherokee Nation? Well, I guess
I know.
I would say if there's one group that's not going to sell out, it's got to be those guys. Come on,
Native Americans
can't sell out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The woo runs deep, so.
Okay, what was I looking for again?
I don't know. I keep distracting you.
I know.
Sorry.
Stop doing that.
Shout out to the chat. Thank you all. Love you. Thanks for hanging out. Please share and like and do stuff. You know, do cool stuff with your new adjectives.
This wasn't it.
Oh man, those are so bad.
Yeah, here was the snow of us driving home yesterday in the blizzard. Or, yeah, yesterday.
Where was that?
Texas, Amarillo.
See, I knew there was some stuff going on there, but it was very, very hard to find. In fact, I couldn't find it anywhere except like maybe one YouTube channel had something on all the strange weather that's going on again. That's like what, the second or third time in the past year or so that Texas just got beat to heck with completely insane weather. 100,000 lightning strikes in an hour or something like that. I mean,
Well, that was over more in the middle and up into Oklahoma.
Wasn't it the same storm system? That's that woman thing.
Yes, that's the one. And that's where Charlie Kirk has been suspended for Twitter as saying, he literally said, someone who, quote, spent 54 years living as a man. And they suspended him.
And this is the person in charge of health for all the children of the land.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it, he, she, they, him don't look healthy. I'm just saying, you know, they don't.
No.
They, them don't look very healthy at all. Like, what are you going to teach me about health, lady?
Not at all. Okay, so back to my story.
Yes, ma'am.
So you guys know about the restaurant, the guys are missing. I just showed you where like they're hiring for crisis actors, whatever. I was wondering if they did a sweep or something, if they told them, hey, we're going to pay you to go fight over there as a crisis actor. But really it was the good guys doing a sweep or picking them up. And then I started seeing these. So I saw, let's see, is this the first one? No, this is the last one. First, maybe if I can go to their website. Oh goodness, that looks. So I saw these promoted tweets from this company. I'll see if I can even find these promoted tweets. Maybe it doesn't work like that. I don't know if a promoted tweet shows up in their actual Twitter feed or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, but I could just be totally.
No, it looks like it doesn't.
Making that up. Yeah.
Then I would have to go to, who did I send it to? Dondi. Okay.
This
was the first
that sweep idea.
Yes, I do too. So this was the first one that they sent, was a spicy margarita. No, that was the second one, as intended. So
is that like a spicy meatball? That's a spicy meatball.
That's a spicy meatball. No, this was the first one. It says, how do you make a margarita in a can exactly the same as without a can? Which I thought that was weird wording. You noticed the little pizza-shaped things at the top. There was the day this came out, there was a huge press conference from the sheriff in Florida. I can't remember what county, but it's the same one that a while back did the big press release where he talked about all the people where he held up the Pikachu and all that. Do you remember that one? Anyway, he did it. So they did another
Pikachu
big,
was funny. So are they peeking at you?
Maybe. But they did another big sweep, and they got the 4 employees at Disney that were picked up, along with a lot of other people for human trafficking and child sex trafficking, different things. And
Disney's
so that was
just full of them
day.
Do you know how many like senior executives there have like literally been not only like accused but like convicted of like doing that kind of stuff? Like
a lot. That's why I don't know why you take your children there. But anyway.
Yeah, we went there one more time and that was it. I'm not going back. It's not fun anymore anyway. They ruined it. It's totally different now. That was like my 10th time of being there. It's not the same. It's done. I'm done.
So then to unpack this a little bit, when it said in a can, I'm thinking like somebody's in the can. Does that mean that they are in the can, which is another term, like they're in jail? and it says 100% to go. Does that mean that they're wrapped up, they're picked up, the job is done? Then I got, let's see. Oh yeah, and what reminded me of
Well, what
this.
do they do with to-go food? Like you go
Hold
there,
on.
you pick it up and you take it and you take it. So
Yeah.
that
So
wording could fit.
the other part of this is that a lot of this aesthetic is the same aesthetic as, I don't know if you guys remember the avocado commercials around Super Bowl time, and that we're at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is one of probably the largest event around sex trafficking. And there were tons of these avocado commercials. And then recently, just for like one day, there was a story that came out that said something about there was going to be an avocado shortage because somebody threatened the like the FDA or something inspector from
Right.
the area, from this one area of Mexico where all avocados come from. And I was like, you can grow avocados in California. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Well, what else comes from Mexico in that area?
Switch avocados for another word, and there you go.
Right? Could it be fentanyl? Could it be little people?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, so let's see. Oh, see, I don't have the whole. Oh, can I click this? No, that's in an email I sent to somebody. The original picture was one that had avocados next to this can of these margaritas.
Okay.
And it had
Yeah,
I do have these links. Hold on.
Yeah, you sent that to me. That's weird. Now you're just making me think that at the Super Bowl they had the avocados were all over the place, and right about the same time, or was it even before the Super Bowl was the big avocado shortage? Wasn't that kind of more like in the middle of January, if I'm kind of
I don't
remembering
know.
right? So what
This
if they
was
were
just a
saying
couple days ago.
there's an avocado shortage, and then at the Super Bowl there's all avocados, but everybody knows that there's a shortage of avocados, meaning that they could have not had people available for the usual nonsense that goes on with all that Super Bowl, trafficking.
I don't know. And then somebody said, so these avocados are in the bag. See that? So I think this was the very first tweet, this one. And I was like, 100% to go. And look, these avocados are in the bag. And I was thinking about that avocado thing, and that was the same area where all the fentanyl came from. And I was like, oh, they're shutting down the avocado being shipped up here because they're trying to stop the fentanyl from being shipped up here. And so then are they saying this? The avocados are in the bag. Then I got that next tweet came through that was in the can. And I was like, oh, they're in the can. They're arrested.
First bagged up, then in the can.
Yeah. Then it said a spicy margarita. Let's see. Bring the heat wherever you go. Real tequila for real people. A spicy margarita as Mexico intended. This was the next one, the final one. And then when you click on this one, it showed, what was this one? I have to go back and look at my email.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was like, then it showed the three families or something. The picture the other picture that I just had up with the box with the three.
Just crazy how these. I mean, you were without a doubt one of the first people I heard by far saying that there's some kind of connection with these targeted ads or whatever you call them.
Promoted tweets.
Well, I mean, they're targeted towards you. I mean, they're individual, just like when you talk about suspenders on your and then all of a sudden on your phone, 20 minutes later, ads for suspenders pop up. I mean, they are targeted towards you. So
okay, here's the other thing. These little beans in the bowl. On the very first one, they're in a bowl. set by the avocados in the bag
Mm-hmm.
in the first picture, they're actually some kind of Japanese peanut or something.
Okay.
And then once you get to the very last promoted tweet, then now look, there's these spicy, bring the heat wherever you go. So now the heat is going to Japan. Why are these peppers now in the bowl with the beans? And this is like the three.
I don't want to sound racist, but could the beans be like the Mexican people, like as a
No,
representation?
but they're not beans. They're like nuts. They're like these spicy peanuts.
So there's a candy that's big in a lot of other places, but here it's a peanut, and it's kind of got like a crunchy shell on it, but it's made of it's like a flour based crunchy shell, and then they flavor it. So sometimes they're spicy.
Well,
Sometimes
that's what
they're
I was
sweet.
reading about, and they
It's a
said they're
popular
from
snack.
Japan.
Interesting.
I don't know that that's. I mean, I was reading about it, and that's what I heard was that they're from Japan. But I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, Chef Jeff has a good comment here. Mexico will pay for the wall, and then he says if that translates in somehow. That's what the woo is about, my friend. Just putting the craziest stuff together and just see if it fits, and a lot of the times it does. And people call us crazy, but how many conspiracy theories that we heard 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago are now like, yeah, it's true. Like so many. But
Glasswalker, what I miss? You have to rewind because I can't go back through all that. But we're glad you're here, Glasswalker.
We're just having a good time, Glass. Glad you could join us. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
He's got a good channel going too. Every now and then he's putting up things on
yes.
YouTube, little bits of things. He's got what is it, like an animated newscaster kind of thing, and he goes over some it's pretty cool.
But it's spelled like oil, but it's pronounced Earl.
Well, that's the proper way to say oil. Earl. From when you're down south.
In Oklahoma it is anyway.
Yeah, Earl.
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 Get your Earl on. Hold on, I'll go find it.
Change your Earl. And you guys make fun of me for saying coffee.
Coffee.
Everybody knows there's a W in coffee.
There's a Q in coffee.
And a W. Coffee. It's not coffee.
Is it Glasswalker or is it Earl?
I know Glasswalker has one because I commented one of them.
Because I'm having to go on another channel to find it.
See, Glasswalker, in my opinion, that has happened already. All the information is out there. There's a group of 3,000 of the world's top engineers and architects all made this association together and started putting this information out like 10 years ago that it's impossible to happen what happened. It's never happened in the world. It's impossible to happen.
Oh, we can't talk about it though.
Right. That's why I mean careful.
Yeah.
And in one day, you got 3 of these big things falling down, and one of them never even got hit. So, and most people don't even know about the third one. But look into that. Look at it. I forget what the name of the organization is, but it's funny because a lot of these things, like, they have broke open. It's just not acknowledged by the mainstream, and most people only watch the stupid box. So it really never gets any traction. But as far as breaking open and the truth being out there, I believe a lot of the truth is out there. And I believe a lot of things like that have certainly broken open. It's just, are you going to educate yourself? Are we going to take the time to learn ourselves and help maybe some other people to see? But I would definitely say there are, it's broken open.
When are the people who have been making the links, oh, conspiracy guys were right, going to move to the big ones? Yeah. I think
when the people who are in charge of media now are no longer in charge of media, that's when you're going to get the, the I told you, and then
I think we'll be so distracted by other things for a while.
That's a great question. I mean,
maybe that's why Trump had maybe that's why Trump, was so insistent on the 1776 project, the education being so important for children going forward in the future, just because we are going to have to relearn history, and we may never know the truth of the past. Now we have blockchain, so we can do things like put things on the blockchain and be able to look back in the past and see the truth.
Right.
But the reality is, like, we may never know anything before 2009.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
that's true also. Yeah, that's true also. Uh, I don't know if it's possible at this point. The way things are, I think a lot would have to change for the people who are like the conspiracy theorists, wackos to be put in a position where enough people are looking to them for advice on things that it would really make a difference. It's sad. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like more and more people are looking for somewhere else to find an answer. I mean, I think about like when Jenny was on stage this weekend. We were in Arizona with Bix and Amy and Josh and Paige and everybody, and like people were just searching for an answer and wanting to know, Jenny, what do the cards say? What do the cards say? And
Right.
so I think there is a big group of people who are looking for, other answers. I don't know. I hope there's going to be more. So
I hope there's going to be more too. And, but why is that? Why is that? That's because we were trained and brainwashed not to trust in ourselves, not to listen to ourselves, that intuition doesn't matter. It's hocus pocus. It's not real. We've been trained for all these years not to trust ourselves, not to look within and get answers. And so then what happens? You have to get from outside, and then even if even if something really resonates and sits well in your gut, you still have to go out and like have it confirmed. They really
right.
messed up the whole
Where's your
process of
third
damn
party,
life.
whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, and then that would make you say, okay, I'm right, I'm not crazy, or there's some positive reinforcement is to what I was thinking. It's just a shame. We were so powerful and so strong at one point as a people so long ago. And that's really been taken from us.
So I was sending all my woo to Uncle Cliff about the margaritas. And then, okay, whoops, wrong browser. And then this article comes up. And this is a cartel shootout with the DPS, Texas DPS.
So I didn't get to see, they cut that video short, unfortunately. I wanted to see that helicopter open up on the guy, but I don't think we got to see that.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, really, you point a gun at the military helicopter? Not a good idea. Not a good idea, people.
Mm-mm.
They got big boys toys.
Yeah. And he's shooting or aiming a AK-47 at the helicopter. And so I told Uncle Cliff, tell Joe, because he makes jokes that they're going to get the lowriders because those boys are probably not coming back. And since there's a vehicle shortage, he said, well, yeah, I told Snippy and JC that you're going to have some insight on where to find some vehicles. And I said, well, tell Snippy the red one's not available anymore.
Oh, so that whole thing was eliminated? I never saw the aftermath of that from that right there.
I didn't see the aftermath.
I'm sure.
But, what are the odds that I have that whole stream of the woo coming at me, and then that article comes out?
Yeah.
So is that what was happening? And that was the outcome.
Very strange.
It's very strange.
I'm trying to scroll back up and read this. Doesn't it? Yeah. Let's try this reading some of these. Yeah. I don't know. We really have to learn to trust ourselves and to trust our intuitions and to, follow. There was a time when, you didn't need, so long ago, when you didn't need social media. There was no social media. There was a time when you had to carry a quarter in your pocket to call your friend. There was a time when, we trusted ourselves and just lived totally different lives. There was I forget who I was speaking with just recently about house prices and like, like my grandparents bought a house way back in the day. I think that my grandfather tells the story. The house was like $12,000 or something like that. And then he made the comment that, well, I was a young guy. I was just back from the war. And, I was only making, $25 a week or maybe $30 a week at that point or something like that. It must have been $30 a week, $35 a week. And I remember thinking to myself as a kid, how the heck did you live? I was a kid, working landscaping with my father. And I'm like, I made more than my grandpa. And then, I got the lecture about, what that equates to in silver and what that equates to in gold. $35 a week back then was 1 ounce of gold, which is $2,000 a week now, which is $100,000+ a year salary. That's not too shabby as a young 20-something-year-old. So it's my grandmother. I'm very certain my grandmother never worked a day in her life, and she raised, what was there, like 55 kids over there. My mom's one of like a troop of puppies, and you could do all those things. We don't know anything about that. We don't remember. I vaguely remember being a child and not having to, not having
be
to
connected. Did you watch Uncle Cliff's latest
Yes.
video on BitChute? And he talks about that he believes that there'll be kind of these two systems, that the ferns will still be here, the Federal Reserve notes, and that things will be priced in that, and it'll take like thousands of those. But then we'll also have the gold/silver, Bitcoin,
whatever the new currencies
price, whatever the new currency will be. And you'll, in that situation, it will be like having prices
from the 60s or from the 50s.
Was it from the 60s or 50s? Yeah.
From the 50s. I've heard anywhere from the 50s. And then I think Uncle Cliff mentioned up until the worst case scenario, he said, was up until the early 70s, which, gas was, 80 cents a gallon or something like that. So, and other big news regarding that, the one gold coin has basically always bought you a really good suit, a nice suit. So right now, a $2,000 suit's a pretty nice suit. Back in the day, in the early 1900s, before the gold shifted from $20 an ounce to $35 an ounce, $20 was a really good suit. It doesn't sound, it doesn't. And they say the same about silver. Silver was always 1 ounce of silver was always a good lunch. It was always a good lunch. That was kind of the equivalent of the suit and the gold kind of thing.
So I think you were going to start talking about this. I sent you this article. The ruble firms past 100 versus dollar after Putin announces gas currency.
Yep. So that means if it's actually, again, I believe it to be true, but I'm not sure. The Russian ruble is supposed to be backed by gold now. He's done the thing that got Saddam Hussein offed. It got Gaddafi offed. It got Noriega offed. It got Chavez offed. All these people, these world leaders in the past who've tried to peg their currency to gold, and he's supposedly done it. So now if he's got gold-backed money and he starts selling, what does it say there? So he's going to start selling his
petrol, his gas. But when I opened the article, it said
to unfriendly,
right? Unfriendly people will have to buy it in rubles.
Oh, which is what the world's had to do since the 70s with the petrodollar,
right. So he'll force, if you buy my fuel, you buy my rubles first. You want my gas? I don't want your stinking ferns.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of a big deal.
And the fact that it pushed it 100 versus $1, so now they would have to spend 100 ferns to get 1 ruble to then buy Russian fuel.
See, that's cool.
If you don't like filling up your gas tank right now, wait a week.
Wait till it goes up 100 times.
Yeah, wait till it goes up 100 times.
Can you imagine that? I mean,
Well, I think that's what it's my understanding. That's what this is saying. I
Yeah.
probably should ask somebody, some kind of maybe Economic Ninja would. I'll send him
Well,
this
I
article
mean,
and ask him to do a
in
video
effect,
on it.
well, it's from Reuters, so it's legit, quote. So if this is if I'm reading this right, then what they're saying is then you can now use gold through purchasing rubles to pay for oil. So that hasn't happened since the 70s, even before that technically, but since we were completely cut off of the gold backed money here in the United States, and they completely cut the tie in the 70s. This is the first time. I mean, what would that do to the price of gold? It just makes sense that it would just really make those prices go up. And how many
You
friendly
think it would
countries are
make
there
the
of
gold
Russia?
go up as well?
I think well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, it's because it's becoming more valuable. It's becoming as a use case to purchase your needed petrol products. I think for sure that if you think about it, if it's gone from 1 to 100, technically the value of the gold is gone up that much more.
Good call.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Glasswalker. One more cut in the thousands of cuts coming. Yeah.
That's something. That's a first. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know what it's going to turn into. I don't know how long it can be manipulated or hidden or screwed with. But okay, so $1 equals 96.75 rubles.
Yeah.
So, and it's going down, I would assume. I don't know the history of it.
I
don't
think
know
it was
how.
just it was my understanding in the article that it just peaked, like it hit that for a moment, but it wasn't like a consistent, right?
Right. Well, we want it to go down, right? I mean, I don't know what it was. I was assuming it was much higher than 1 for 96. It must have been
Against
1
the
for a few
dollar
hundred.
at 100.2. Earlier clipping 94.9875, the strongest since March. It had gained 3.5 to trade at 110.50 versus the euro.
Yes. So it was higher. So eventually what's going to happen is that 1 to 96 ratio it's going to work itself way down. And then, look at it as a gold silver ratio. It's going to work itself down as the silver gets more valuable. It's not going to take 80 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. It's going to
You're
equal.
right. It says
right.
Before that, the ruble traded at about 80 to the dollar.
Before that. And then they jacked it up once they made that announcement, right? But I wonder historically what it was, though. Because we want that number. Am I understanding that right? We want that to go down lower. We want it eventually to be a 1-to-1. Right? I think I have that right.
I don't know. I get confused about it.
Well, if it takes let's say 100 rubles right now to equal $1, and then it goes down for 1 ruble to equal $1, the rubles become a lot more valuable. Otherwise, 100 of them to equal 1. I think I don't know, kind of screwed up. It was a long day, tired.
Auction Wednesday.
Got up extra early today.
Overnight ruble auctions is falling fast. I don't know. I sent it link to Economic Ninja. I need to read back through this again slowly. The central bank said it would begin buying OFZ bonds.
I'm looking up a historical ratio. Exchange rates. So
this is where I like to bring in experts. I do not know this stuff. This is why I like to bring the resources to the people, which is what I do on my website. You guys can go to litecoinlisa.net, and that's where I'm bringing in more and more resources to people.
Let's see. So in 2010, So it was much stronger. So it seems here from 2001 to currently, the exchange rate has varied anywhere between 29 to, oh no, wait, that's not right. Boy, it's really hard to find information about this. Anyway, I don't know, wasting time on that. But yeah, we got to watch that. We got to watch what that's going to happen because, you know, if the ruble is becoming more valuable because of its ties to gold and being able to purchase petrol with it, petrol products with it, it should be going down closer to, it should take less rubles to purchase a dollar. So a pack of cigarettes was 35 cents at the machine. Do they even have cigarette machines anymore? I remember seeing them when I was a kid, but I don't think so. I mean,
yeah, I hope not. I would think not because of all the regulation, you know, you have to ID people and all that stuff. So
right. I've seen them in bars, but it's been so long since I've been at a bar. But even now, the bars,
that is not
don't
true.
allow smoking any here. What?
You go to bars with us all the time.
Well, with you guys, but you know, what is that? A few times a year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hey, we're going to be in Jersey in May, I think. So.
Oh, so you come in May? Have you decided yet? And I know we were looking in the summer, the end of the summer.
We don't have a location yet, but we're looking at May. This weekend we are at, I'm scrolling information across the bottom. We're at Wilshire Gun Club on Friday. Nana is tentatively coming with her sock puppet dog. We'll see how that goes. And cool. But she's coming, we think. And then we'll be at the Wilshire Gun Club from 3 to 6. If you want to shoot, come earlier than that. We're probably going to get there, I don't know, a couple hours earlier and do some shooting. There's a great restaurant there and bar. If you're going to shoot, you have to shoot first, then drink. They scan everybody's ID and keep everybody safe. You can rent guns there. They have all kinds of stuff, everything you need.
Do they have automatic weapons there?
I'm sure.
You say it like it's normal. Is that normal? Is that normal where that is?
I mean, I think so. I think that's normal.
I'm so jealous. I've never even seen an automatic weapon in real life.
You should have come to the Oklahoma meetup.
I know. I got too many responsibilities these days.
Yeah, Westwood's going to stay here with us at the house, and Nana's going to be here, and we've got Divvy Daddy's coming in, Litecoin Leaders coming in, Justin from Viva Capital is coming. Let's see, we've got Gypsy Ledger, my friend that's the accountant that's into crypto. She'll be there. Bitcoin Ben's coming. He's bringing his big RV down. I'm going to sleep in the RV, he said. Tom's coming.
Yay, Tom.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Tom in a while.
There's a whole bunch of people coming, so I'm excited about it. And then on Saturday, I'll be speaking at Bitcoin Day down in downtown Oklahoma City by the river at one of the boat houses. And I'm really excited about that. That's a great group that puts that conference on. And they actually asked me to tell my story of how we found Bitcoin and how we got into cryptocurrency and all that. So
that's this weekend?
Yeah, so that's cool. Saturday. So we have Litecoin Day on the 84th day of the year on March 25th, Friday, and then Bitcoin Day on Saturday. So it'll be a great weekend. I'm excited.
Sounds like fun. I wish I can go, but I cannot. Responsibilities.
You're in luck because we'll have something once a month. So then next month, we're going to be celebrating Team Mighty. We made an announcement that we've changed some things up with Team Mighty. That's the charity that honors my daughter that passed away. And she's now the inspiration that we're going to grow it even bigger and honor more families and more people that have suffered from different things, but also honoring people like the Weirs, like Bix and Amy, who rallied the community around and helped us with donations and helped us with support and encouragement when we were having to restructure things. And so now they are the Team Mighty champions for 2022. And we'll be announcing the Team Mighty Warrior on or 15. So
That's very cool.
On Mighty Mia's birthday. Yeah. So super excited. And then whoever the warrior is every year, whatever money we earn that year, then we'll have a portion of that go to whatever the charity that they choose, or the effort, or we've got it all written down
The cause,
on
however
the
it
board
works, yeah.
meeting notes. Yeah. Whatever that looks like.
That's
So we'll
very
make
cool.
sure. Yeah. And
I
then
hope
people
there's
will be
just
able
more and
to,
more and more of that.
yeah, and people will be able to submit. So if you know, like somebody that's struggling with, and I'm creating a page on my website, and we have a Team Mighty website. Maybe I'll just put it over there and put a link on my page. But
Yeah.
but we're going to have a page for people to submit. Like if you have somebody that you think, would be a good warrior, somebody you'd want to honor, that might be struggling or has been an overcomer from something that, that Mia faced. So foster care, adoption, organ donation, cancer, special needs. We have had lots of challenges, but she was definitely an overcomer, and so that's what we want to celebrate and get around and support those other families. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm
I really
excited
hope
about
that
it.
works. I really hope that just grows and grows and grows. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, and it's been it's definitely been, it was a universe thing, God thing, because the way it turned it, LLS went woke and decided they don't recognize the difference between men and women anymore. And so we were like, we can't support you or be a part of what you're doing then. And I'm mad about it. And I'm going to let everyone know that you're woke now and that they should not give to you. And so we were like, so what does that look like for us then? And so we had to turn the direction. I was like, what's most important for us? Well, Mia inspired people. She inspired community, and she inspired people to, make different decisions and maybe to choose a hard path, but to change the world. And that's what she did. And so that's what we want to do, is keep adding more and more community and growing the community and supporting people who are in those challenging situations. So I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Congratulations on that. It's
Yeah.
really,
Thanks.
that's what we all need to do. We all need to do more. It's a great way to help, push out good vibes to the world and just keep it going and self-perpetuating. Who knows? You guys might help somebody or benefit somebody someday who's just going to take the ball and run to like these levels that nobody can even imagine. You might be supporting a startup that's just going to become like the greatest thing ever, or start it's just going to help. So you never know where it's going to turn out when you put that blast, when you put that wave out into the universe. It could just turn into the most amazing things in the world. I can't wait to see where that goes.
Well, that's what, she did so much. Like, I just think about just us, living our life and her being in our life and different people that we would meet and being able to tell her stories. And that's why I've really got to write a book to talk about what all we went through, and all the different challenges and all the amazing people we met along the way. And, and then somebody would be inspired or hear, and they would go, maybe we can adopt, or maybe I can support a family who's fostering right now. Maybe I can just tell them, hey, I see you have like an extra set of kids staying with you right now. Could I help out with doing some laundry for you? If it's your neighbor or something, or can I run and do some grocery shopping for you or something, to take help out with some time, on your hands or something. There's all kinds of different things that you can do to help out. You never know what somebody's going through. And that was one thing.
Ways, all different levels.
Yeah. And one way is not more or less than another. So sometimes people can donate, sometimes people can foster or adopt. Everybody can be an organ donor. You're not going to need that stuff where you're going. There's just all kinds of things you can do. So anyway.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see where this stuff turns out. Amen. Amen. And I'm not a religious person, but amen.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah. Viva. As Putin says, Viva. You guys go check out my website, please. I need a little bit of feedback on it. I'm working on it. But I'm curious what you guys think about it. So go check out litecoinlisa.net. and click around on it. Give me some feedback. Let me know if you're able to see the kind of things that I'm wanting you to check out. I want you to be able to see the Crypto Confidential. I'm really wanting to point people to resources. So I want them to see the online classes. Right now, it's a limited sign up for a Bitcoin basics class that Westwood and I will be teaching on April 9th. There's less than 20 spots. I can't remember how many exactly right now. But if you're interested in that or know somebody who is, get them to get signed up on that. Then there's a link to the Crypto Confidential resource where you can have access to all these experts and get the monthly newsletter, as well as 2 Ask Me Anythings live on a Zoom call with the experts and the community. And then I've got our events page for the meetups, and a place where you can reach out to me if you're interested in me advising on a project or speaking at one of your events. I don't know, go click around on it and let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to get some feedback. So let me know. And
It's good stuff.
yeah, we're learning and growing over here.
Yeah, it's a learn as you go process. Sometimes it's not so smooth. Sometimes it's a little clunky along the way, but as long as you keep going forward with it, that's really all that matters, right?
One step in front of the other, and we'll get there, and we'll get there together. So, well, thanks, public. I'll see you guys tomorrow with Johnny Litecoin, and I may have a guest with us or 2.
Sweet.
Who knows? Depends on what
Thank
time
you.
Westwood gets here. All right. Take care.
Ciao.